In this video, I'm going to teach you the 5 fastest ways to take the pin out of a grenade, toss it into the kitchen with you, and explode the sale right in front of you. Because what I'm sharing in this video are the top 5 sales etiquette mistakes that I see happening far too frequently. Now, what is sales etiquette? Sales etiquette is the fair and equal treatment of the person we are selling to. And we violate these rules of the fair and equal treatment of somebody, we lose the deal. And some people do this stuff without knowing. Many people are just not self-aware enough to realize they're making one of these mistakes. So in this video, I hope to bring them to your attention because I will tell you I am guilty of number 5 myself. The last one on the list was the hardest one for me to break, and I didn't realize how much I did it until I started to listen to myself in recordings. And making that adjustment has helped me be a far better salesperson in the way that serves people better and of course then rewards me with earning more business. So let's get to it, shall we? The top 5 ways to lose a deal by violating these sales etiquette mistakes. My name is Adam Bensman, the Roof Strategist, and I'm so glad to have you here. Everything I do on my channel is designed to help you and your team smash your income goal and give every customer an amazing experience. So if you like this video, you'll love what's inside my free training center, and I invite you to join me in there. There's no catch. You can text the word FREE to 303-222-7133. There's a link in the description as well if you're at your computer or your tablet or your phone. And again, text the word FREE to 303-222-7133. Now, let's hop into today's video, the 5 sales etiquette mistakes, leading us off with number 1, and that is showing up late to an appointment without notifying your customer in advance. My friends, we need to just communicate openly. Homeowners realize that things happen, but when you show up late without giving notice, and the worst part is when you show up late and then instead of apologizing, you give an excuse. I've had salespeople do this to me. Oh man, gosh, the traffic on I-25 was horrendous. There was a wreck. And I'm like, dude, you just first apologize. You say you were counting on me, didn't communicate. You say, I'm sorry I was late. You don't make an excuse. It's not about you. You're not the victim. I'm the customer, right? So if we're running late, we just need to communicate with our customers. Pretty simple, right? There's rule number 1. Do not violate that one. Showing up late without notifying the customer in advance. Now, number 2, when you do show up, that is stinking. Odors. I was guilty of this one. I used to love things that were garlicky, and I didn't realize till later. It was actually when I was a massage therapist. Someone said, "You always smell like garlic." And I was like, I wish someone had told me that earlier because now I'm self-conscious. And if you've been out with me for dinner ever, I avoid this stuff, garlic and onions. I'm like, hold this stuff because I used to stink and now I'm overly self-conscious. So bad breath is one item of the odor department. Item number 2 is excessive cologne and fragrances. We get blind, our nose gets blind, but you can't show up at someone's house just stinking, okay? You might think that your cologne or perfume is nice, but when you explode their house with it, like an Axe bomb, it doesn't do anyone any favors. Number 3, your breath. Excuse me, not your breath. Cigarettes, smoking, which also impacts your breath, but you do not want to have that cigarette aroma all over your hands and your clothes and your mouth. It can be very, very offensive, especially to non-smokers. And the last one, the BO. It gets hot out there. I realize this. And in the summer, I would keep extra deodorant stick in my truck along with spare shirts. So if I sweat through them, because it does get hot running around carrying a ladder, I would just change. So sales etiquette number 2 is having a strong odor. Your breath, cigarettes, BO, perfume and colognes, keep it under wraps. All right. Number 3 is slide out of the truck. Hopefully you weren't late and smelling and then made this mistake, which was selling before asking questions. When people jump right into the sale and start telling people about how good they are, why they're the best company to work with, you just can't do that. You have to ask questions first. People just feel like you're going from 0 to 100 straight out of the gate, and I see it a lot, especially with overexcited salespeople. So there's our first 3. Number 4, this one ain't good. When you're too friendly. You know those people that when you're on the sales appointment, they buddy up with their prospect, but almost too much, meaning you know your friends, but you just met, right? And they become the friends that they've known their whole lives, and they begin oversharing details and talking about personal matters. And if you're in one of those situations, you're doing the slow back up, get me out of here, please situation, because your friend is a nutcase. And you're like, man, I know you're friends, but way too much. So don't be too friendly. It turns people off. I've watched as a sales trainer being in the home with a sales rep who just gets overly buddy-buddy and gets into the personal details. And I've watched customers exchange glances, husband, wife, like that, like, are you kidding me? He's saying this? So don't do that. Not being too friendly, all right? Be friendly, just keep it in a professional light, meaning you don't know them since childhood. All right, and then number 5, this is the most common one and the one that I was the most guilty of throughout my sales career, and that is talking over people. We see it a lot in response to certain questions or objections that come up when the salesperson is very proficient in overcoming them, because they get them a lot. So like, no, I've gotten this, I've seen this a lot. So when we begin to talk over people or not let them finish, that tells you what you're saying is not important, Mr. Homeowner, but what I'm saying is, so zip it, I'm talking, which is not a really good message to send to someone. Instead, we want them to be like, oh, they're actively listening and paying attention and present with me and being respectful. So do not talk over people. And there you have it, the top 5 sales etiquette mistakes, the common rules of engaging with someone through a sales process that when you violate will cost you a deal. Let's do a lightning fast summary. Number 1, showing up late without notice. Number 2, having horrible odors or aromas coming out of any orifices of your body. Number 3, selling before asking questions. We have to ask before we sell, otherwise we're selling blind. Okay. Number 4 is when we are far too friendly. We need to treat them like good friends, but not necessarily the best friend that you met when you were in preschool. And then number 5 is the biggest one, not talking over others. Now, there's the top 5 I have, but I want to hear from you. What did I miss? What sales etiquette mistakes, the grenade-worthy mistakes that blow up deals, do you witness or have you witnessed when being trained or training others? I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. Now, thanks again for joining me in today's video. Just because our time here is about to wrap up doesn't mean your and my time has to. So if you like this video, hop into even more of them in my free training center right here, or YouTube thinks you're really going to love this video, and I'll see you on the next one.